Right now, he is currently being held on a $500,000 bond. The 38-year-old was arrested on Sunday, 2 days after Fletcher was abducted. Now, Memphis police connected Abston to Fletcher's abduction after his sandals were found near Fletcher's cell phone and water bottle close to Central Avenue and Zach Curlin Street. That's the area where police say Fletcher was violently attacked and taken. Now, arrest affidavit said that DNA found on those sandals matched Abston, and the arrest report says that Abston was wearing those same sandals at a movie theater the night before the kidnapping.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about what you just saw, which was the story of Eliza Fletcher, 34 years old, who was kidnapped and apparently murdered by 38-year-old Cleotha Abston in Memphis. Now, this story is pretty interesting for a variety of reasons. I think first things first would be this person, Cleotha Abston, has been a violent criminal his entire life. I'm talking about from 12 years old, he had all kind of charges. I'm thinking about there was a rape charge. There was another kidnapping charge. He had a kidnapping charge when he was like, I guess, 18, 19 or a little bit younger than that. And he did 20 years in the penitentiary for that particular crime. And he was released when he was, I think, 36 years old. So just like 2 years ago, a couple years ago, he was released. He did do 20 years in a joint. He has had several violations, several arrests, not necessarily since he's been released. I think they said he had a clean record upon his release, meaning in between the time he was released and right now, there was no crimes except for the alleged kidnapping and alleged murder. But this person has been a violent criminal his entire life. And I saw Ted Williams on Fox News say what I've been thinking. Guys like this should not really be part of society. Guys like this got to get put down at a certain point because you can't really incorporate yourself in society. You can't be a person that has any kind of empathy. You can't behave properly socially. So you can't really be here. Okay, this charge right here, it should be like an immediate life sentence, 25 with the L, maybe even a chair. It shouldn't be well, you can get out. No. I don't think that it would be in Tennessee, but Memphis could be a little bit weird because, you know, it's a conservative state, but a liberal place, a liberal city in the conservative place. So it might be kind of weird, but I don't think that he would be able to get out after this. Now, again, I got to say this, I guess, for legal reasons. This is like an allegation. He's not been convicted of anything yet, but there's so much evidence. First of all, he has a history of kidnapping, and this could be a kidnapping for hire. I'll talk about that in a minute. But he has a history of kidnapping. He kidnapped a lawyer. That's what he got the 20 years for. He kidnapped a lawyer and drove him to different ATMs and forced him to withdraw money. Okay, that's what he did back when he was, I guess, a late teenager, early teenager, whatever it was, that he got 20 years for. Now, the lawyer did survive, and the lawyer put out a statement years ago. The lawyer has since passed away. I'm not really sure from what, but the lawyer said he was lucky to survive that whole ordeal because he could have easily been killed. I'm sure the kidnapping was at gunpoint. It wasn't the soft kidnapping. So that gunpoint kidnapping, that violent crime could have turned much worse and resulted in the lawyer losing his life. Now, as far as Miss Eliza Fletcher, apparently she was jogging on U of M, that's University of Memphis campus, and apparently she was forced into an SUV, probably driven by Cleotha Abston. And Abston was seen in an apartment not far from where Miss Fletcher's body was discovered. And at this apartment, he was seen cleaning out the SUV. So he probably kidnapped her and eventually killed her in the SUV, then dumped her body not far from where he actually was probably staying, living, whatever the case may be. So it appears like he did do this. All the evidence is right there. And it's kind of hard to say this could have been prevented because what can you really do? I mean, look at it this way. This person did do 20 years. They've been punished appropriately for their crimes. So what else can you do? All that could have been done here is what I would suggest anyone do. First of all, you're in Memphis, it's dangerous. Okay, I say this all the time. People say, "Hey, man, you want to go to Memphis? I know you live in Tennessee. You ever go out to Memphis?" Well, not really. I try to stay away from Memphis because I know how it is. You might feel kind of safe in certain pockets, but understand people like Cleotha Epson are everywhere, not just in Memphis, but definitely out there in Memphis. You in the campus of U of M, just jogging, kind of like by yourself. It doesn't matter if it's daytime, nighttime, or whatever. You need to be very vigilant. Keep it on you. Okay, keep your weapon on you, a pistol. If that doesn't really make you feel safe, get some bear spray, a taser, something to protect yourself. Now, I'm not sure what Miss Fletcher had on her, but what I do know is that this situation may have gone a little bit different if she was armed. I'm not, like I said, I don't know if she was or if she wasn't, but in general, just speaking in general, not even really necessarily about Miss Fletcher, but in general, these kidnappings and just violent attacks might go a little bit differently if the person who was the victim was to be armed and vigilant. You got to do it because, you know, people are crazy out here nowadays. You never know what's going on. Now, there's one thing I wanted to mention about why this may have happened. Could it have been a random attack? That's possible. He may have just wanting to attack her for whatever the reason may be, take advantage of her, or maybe she appeared to have some money and he wanted to steal from her. He wanted to do the same thing he did with the lawyer and take him to different ATM machines. But the question that I would have is, if she was targeted for money, how did he know that she had money? If the lawyer was targeted for money, how did he know that the lawyer had money? We talking about like a thing where you're put out there to do it, kidnapping for hire, murder for hire. Could that be it? I don't really know. But what I do know is, in part, I'm just reading this article right here. So Miss Fletcher is a granddaughter of the late Joseph Orgel III. He's a Memphis hardware businessman and a philanthropist. So apparently she's like an heiress. So the family has money. And I don't know if this guy, Cleotha Epson, knew this about her, or if it was just happenstance that he just happens to kidnap an heiress right there on U of M, throw her into an SUV. And what was the conversation like in the SUV? Was it a thing where he's trying to extract money from her, or what was the whole situation? I don't know, but I'm just trying to put two and two together. You kidnapped a lawyer before, and you had to know he had money because you drove to ATM machines trying to get money out. Then you kidnap this young lady right here who is an heiress. So the common denominator, the common thing that they have between them, the two kidnapping victims, was some money, apparently. So how did he know this? Was he put up to it? Is it an organized crime type situation? I can't really tell. But what I do know is that guys like this, Cleotha Epson, exist all over the country. They're very dangerous. And all you can really do to protect yourself is to stay armed, stay vigilant, stay aware of your surroundings. Now, I'm not trying to blame the victim here. Please don't misunderstand me. All I'm saying is that this person is a victim. It wasn't their fault. And to prevent this kind of tragedy from unfolding again, you got to just stay vigilant. You got to stay armed. Be prepared for things like this to happen, because at any time, anywhere, it can go down, unfortunately. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what said you? How do you feel about this whole situation here with Cleotha Epson, Eliza Fletcher? Why was this done? Was it a random attack? Was it targeted? Was it some kind of gang violence? What was the reason for this whole situation unfolding? And as I've said, the body that was found near where Epstein was spotted, or where he lives, has been identified as Miss Fletcher. But whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. There are a lot of very violent, dangerous people out there, and you would never know it. Sometimes it could live right next door to you, and you would have no idea. Sometimes it's like that. So all you could do, just as a normal person, a regular normie like you and I are, regular normies, all that we can do is just protect ourselves in the best way possible. Okay. Now, some might want to call them preppers, or you crazy, or you tinfoil hat, and why you got to have all those guns? Why you got to have all the ammunition? I mean, hey, I'm just ready. I'm just prepared. I'm just ready. So hopefully nothing happens. Hopefully there's never any kind of tragedy that strikes. Hopefully I'm never a victim. Hopefully I never become on the wrong end of a gun. Hopefully that's my life and that's my experience. But there's no way to predict that. How can I say for 100% certain that that won't happen to me? be ready, stay safe, and hopefully we can prevent these tragedies from ever unfolding again. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.